Hey, this is Rich Winley with Forbes. I'm with David Meltzer, CEO of Sports One Marketing. How you doing, David?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. I didn't really know who you were before I read about you, and then I couldn't stop reading about you.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about you. What are you up to right now?
Yeah, well, I am the CEO of Sports One Marketing, partners with Warren Moon, the Hall of Fame quarterback, and we have a company that makes a lot of money, helps a lot of people, and has a lot of fun.
Yeah, you can't beat that, right?
Nope, that's our motto.
So you're originally from Akron, is that right?
Akron, Ohio. I was born in the same hospital as LeBron James and Steph Curry.
Man.
Different journey, though. Maybe I'll be the commissioner someday.
Well, maybe. So you'll go back home.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know you Ohio boys.
Love Ohio.
Yeah.
But live in San Diego and love Ohio. That's my goal.
So how was it growing up in Akron? Did you grow up in a good part of town, a bad part of town, mix?
Yeah, I grew up in the same part of town that LeBron did. So I grew up single mom, 6 kids, 5 boys and a girl.
Holy cow, y'all probably drove her crazy.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, she drove me crazy with all that guilt, right? So, but you know, it was an interesting journey. We had very, very little, except for a lot of love in the house. I actually wanted to be a professional football player, but ended up in law school by my mom's guidance and support. But I did play football in college.
Like, what's the last thing you were interested in? Like, that you're like just gun-ho, passionate about? Like,
the last thing is really creating value. My whole life changed because I was a great salesman. You know, graduated law school, did very well in law school, had some options to be an oil and gas lawyer, make a lot of money, and I went into the internet. In fact, my mom, I asked her, what job should I take? She said, you should be a real lawyer because this internet thing's going to be a fad. And it's the first time
the 90s?
Oh, it was early 90s.
Okay.
There was hardly any internet.
I mean, it's the dial-up that you gotta.
It's DOS, 56K, monochrome screen. In fact, I went to Westlaw and we ended up in a few years selling to Thompson for $3.5 billion in 1995. And $3.5 billion was a lot of money back then.
It's a lot of money right now.
Yeah. And so I shifted my paradigm later on in life, and I'm passionate about, I believe the more I can do to help people, that the universe will provide everything I want in return.
So you're in your 30s, you're a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Did you get cocky?
Yeah.
And what happened?
I lost the 4 things that I think were most important to me. Gratitude. But you know, I had gratitude even though I had nothing. Empathy, which is forgiveness. You know, I was always very forgiving of others. I all of a sudden became superior to others. Accountability. Everything was blame, shame, justification, and my ability to effectively communicate because I wasn't connecting to people. And so I started surrounding myself with the wrong people and the wrong ideas, and I ended up losing everything.
So like, let's talk about the loss there. So like, you're a product of the environment that you surround yourself with. So like, how did those people come into your life? Like,
so you know, because I wasn't working in my 30s, retired, I started thinking about things to do, and so the people I surrounded myself were retired or older and wealthy, so they were putting themselves in business deals and not paying attention. You know, it's a big difference between running a company and just investing and traveling around and going to dinners and clubs that you shouldn't go to. And I had a family, you know, and my wife warned me before I lost everything. She said, in this way that my first book came in, she said, look, I'm not happy. I said, we live in Rancho Santa Fe, we have Ferraris, Porsches, we can do whatever you want, and you're telling me you're not happy? She said, you need to go back and take stock in who you were, because our future is not gonna happen. And the hardest part for me was I went back, outlined my life, and 2 years into doing things the right way again, was the cause and effect happened. So I was in the midst of, you know, I bought a golf course that became the 8th best new golf course in the nation. Sam Snead designed it. I lost that. I had 33 properties, condo conversion, and I was in litigation, of course, in bankruptcy. And yet, at that time, most people think that was the low. The low was when my wife, 2 years earlier, said she wasn't happy and she didn't respect me. And the hard part was to I was so calm when I was going through the hard times because I knew I was doing the right things. And I know I was a millionaire in 9 months after I started working, right? I came from nothing.
Right.
And so, and I knew nobody, I had no real business skills, I had a law degree, but I said to myself, if I do the right things, I know how to make money. I'll start, and I just started surrounding myself with the right people, the right ideas, and sure enough, I attracted Lee Steinberg into my life, became CEO wasn't looking for a job, of the most notable sports agency in the world, and I've rebuilt that wealth in the right way.
I think that the mixture of your wife and then you meeting Lee, that got you back to your roots that your mom instilled in you at a very young age. And
I do, and I think writing my book, like outlining it, creating these principles that I was living by and these key elements, and the idea that, you know, like my mom always said, this idea of gratitude, you know, she would hammer it in. My mom, when we had nothing, she would make me say what I was thankful for every night before I went to bed. She was programming my mind to be positive, right? Not look at, oh, my other kids have this, I can't go to camp, you know, there's a lot of struggle in there.
Right.
And to get rid of the pain of, I mean, have you ever seen your mom cry over money? That's why I wanted to be rich. There's no tears, there was no pain in my house other than something to do with money when a car broke down because she couldn't provide.
Right.
And it would break my heart. I still usually get just choked up thinking about it. And when, you know, all of a sudden I had all these things, I felt guilty. And I still talk to my mom about it today. I said, it was like an energy that I had to get rid of it because I felt dirty.
Right.
Like, because here I was, you know, making over $100 million. I made over $10 million in a very short amount of time, and my mom worked for $17,000 a year. And so I had this guilt. So not only was it the giving, my mom didn't teach me how to receive. And that's why our saying at Warren's, right? Make a lot of money, help a lot of people, have a lot of fun. A lot of people ask me, why is making a lot of money so important, Dave? I said, because you can't give what you don't have. So receiving is important.
Right.
But if you know you're going to do good things with what you have, then you should be blessed with as much abundance as you can get.
Like, a lot of entrepreneurs, especially, and I talk to a lot of tech entrepreneurs, and you deal with a lot of entertainment, and I think they go through the same things. They come into a lot of money fast, and they get in this bubble. And I think they lose their self-awareness. So like, if you're coaching these athletes or even tech entrepreneurs or whoever it is that have raised these billions of dollars and get in this bubble who think they can't get out, what do you say to them?
Right. I say exactly what my wife said to me. Go back and take stock in who you were. Right? Take stock in who you want to become. Because what you'll realize is all of that bubble stuff, right, is nothing. It's meaningless. It's the meaning. Happiness to me is the most critical thing. But I ask people all the time, if I could guarantee you happiness from the time you open your eyes till the time you close it, would it be enough? And everybody raises their hand. I don't talk about health, don't talk about finance, I don't talk about your career, happiness. And so when you define happiness as the pursuit of your potential, that's what makes us happy. No matter how much money you have or how little money you have, that you have the ability to be happy, that's what entrepreneurs want. The pursuit of your potential. That bubble doesn't even matter anymore.
I love that definition. That's probably like one of the best definitions I've heard. What would you give an aspiring entrepreneur that wasn't a gift? That's a gift, but it's not monetary, it's not a book. What would you give them?
I'll give them my best piece of advice. And it's always have 3 mentors. One of the things, I always had these great mentors. Even when I was younger at West and in law school, I had great mentors, college coaches. And what happened was when I became successful, I stopped having mentors. So from the very beginning, if I would have been cognizant of the fact, have 3 mentors at all time, people who sit in the position or have situational knowledge that you want. And all you have to do is simply ask for help. And your life will change. Not only do they help you quickly not pay the dummy tax, right?
Right.
But moreover, they've surrounded themselves with a network of people and ideas that they'll share with you, because if you ask them for help, a mentor, you now become an investment of theirs, and those guys are gonna want you to be as successful because you're a reflection of their investment.
David, it's been a pleasure, man.
Oh, my pleasure.
I appreciate the interview.
Thank you. I look forward to talking to you again.
Awesome.